The Lost City of Ungoro is Hearthstone's newest expansion, and all the cards have been revealed, and now it is time to review every single one of them. This set looks like a lot of fun because we're getting quests. I'm going to start with class cards this time instead of neutral because it shows the quest first, and then we can go through the classes, and then we'll get to neutral after. I will be giving all cards a star rating. So the star rating I'll be given is 5 stars. I think it's going to be a top card or top. It's going to be in the top deck in the meta. It's going to be like defining for that deck. And it's just going to be a really, really good card overall as well. Could just be a simple good card that's fun just waiting to heaps of decks. 4 stars is obviously just a solid, really good card that you're going to see in pretty much all the time as well. Maybe it's not meta defining. Maybe it doesn't carry the deck itself. Just a nice supporting card. Something along those lines. My star ratings are definitely a little bit loose. 3 stars are decent cards. They'll probably still be in tier 2 decks. Maybe the bottom cards of the tier 1 deck. Or like the main focus of like a tier 3 type deck. Something like that. 2 stars is a pretty niche card. Won't barely see play. Maybe very specific things here and there. But probably you won't see it often. 1 star, unplayable trash. Very big drastic jump. Unplayable trash, never see play. I'm sure people will try some of the cards out that are 1 star, but they will ultimately not be good. Alrighty, but let's get into it. Reanimate the Terror. The first Death Knight quest. What is it? 1 mana, 2 blood, 1 unholy, which is rough. Quest, spend 18 corpses, reward Tyrax Bone Terror, which is a 5 mana 8/8 undead beast. Death Rattle, open Terror's grave. It has Death Rattle, resummon Tyrax. And that is, so the location is Terror's graves, which resummons Bone Terror, which is the minion. So you just keep going back and forth forever. You got to use 2 durability on this, so it takes a few turns to deal 4 damage. The reward's nice, but it's not not gonna win you the game. So it's kind of like, it's really slow as well. Spending 18 corpses is not hard. It's not like you're going to complete this by turn 5. Then you're playing just a 5 mana 8/8. It doesn't even have taunt. If this had taunt, it'd be like 10. It'd be better. Because at least it's some defense. Just a 5 mana 8/8. Then you can deal some damage. It's definitely not. It's not even going to... I don't think this is going to be a deck at all. I don't think this quest is going to carry any sort of good, like, corpse spending undead deck. Maybe. And the problem is it's 2 blood, 1 unholy. I haven't really looked this quest. I haven't really looked into, like, what 2 blood unholy cards there are. But I just don't see it. I'm hesitant to even give this 2 stars. I think this is ultimately going to become unplayable trash. Sadly, Death Knight, your first quest is not good. I just don't see the point of it. 1 star. 1 star card. I'm sorry, Death Knight. Your quest is getting 1 star, and I'm thinking about all the other quests. It might be the only 1 star one. Anyway, 1 star for animating the terror. Okay. High Cultist Haren. Battlecry, summon 2 death remains from your deck. They fight. This is just a nice Death Knight card. It has lots of potential. Here's the thing. This card has so much potential, especially in the future. There's a lot of good Death Rattle stuff that you could do with this. There is some good Death Rattle stuff you can do now with this. It's an 8 mana 8/6 that I think it's a pretty good card, right? There's no way this won't find its way into some sort of like Death Rattle Death Knight deck. Trying to think of the new cards that synergize with this. I'm sure we'll come across them soon. Also, before I continue, I mean, I don't think I did this last time, but it's always possible if I decide to come back and re-rate something different, I will do that. I probably won't, but you never know. But High Cultist Haran, I think we'll see play, but I won't. It'll be just like, it'll be a really good tempo play on turn 8 probably, because you just summon so much stuff. I don't think there's going to be any Death Knight combo-wombo with this that's outstanding, at least not currently. Thing is, if you do like a Death Rattle deck, it's going to be a key card in that. But I still don't know if that deck will be good. So I'm going to give this one 3 stars. It's a decent card that will see play. It'll be important to like a Death Knight, Death Rattle deck, but I don't think that deck will do anything crazy. Reanimated Brodrex. 5 mana 4/3 under beast. Rush Lifesteal costs corpses instead of mana. 0 mana 4/3. It's always good. It is 5 corpses, but it's not like you're always spending corpses in Death Knight. I don't see why this won't be a really good card. It's going to see playing a lot of Death Knight decks. I mean, whenever something costs 0 mana, there's always a risk that it's going to be really good. So I'm going to give this 4 stars. It's going to be in a lot of Death Knight decks and a pretty good card. If Death Knight has any tier 1 decks, this will definitely be most likely included in those. Maybe not the most important card in those decks, but it'll definitely help them. Wave of Tar. Frost Unholy. Deal 2 damage to all enemies' minions. Enemy minions cost 2 more next turn. Wave of Tar. See, there's not much, like, you're dealing 2, which is okay. And you're making your opponent's cards cost more. Opponent's cards cost more is always annoying. Like, against an aggro deck, this is pretty good. But against any control, it's going to be, meta could be really slow because of quests, so it's like, whatever. I don't really see this card, honestly, being included in a lot of decks. I think maybe it'll be a niche card here and there as a board clear if Death Knight really needs it. But overall, I don't think it's going to be good. 2 stars. Cryo Sleep. So Kindred is the new effect, which is cards with Kindred keyword get a bonus effect if you played a card of the same minion type or spell school on your previous turn. So 2 frost. Deal 4 damage and draw a card. Kindred, draw another. 4 mana, deal 4, draw 2 cards. Not too bad, not too bad. I mean, if there's like a Frost deck out there that's just dealing damage, which there has been a lot in the past. There has been in the past. I don't know what Frost cards there currently are. Frost Death Knight is... There was kind of one, not recently, right? Haven't played a ton of Hearthstone, honestly. But 4 mana deal 4, draw 2 is... It's not actually... Not the craziest. And you have to get the Kindred off in this. I mean, I think there might be like some sort of like Frost Death Rattle deck. I just remembered one of the other cards that's coming up with the Death Rattle guy. What do I rate this one? 3 stars? Yeah. I don't think it'll be like a crazy deck. It'll probably be pretty slow. This will probably be in that deck as well. It's drawing, dealing damage. 3 stars. I was kind of maybe going to give it 2, but I'll give it 3. 4 mana, 3/4 undead beast will cry. Draw a Death Rattle minion that costs 3 or less. Kindred, it costs 0. Pretty good card, I reckon. This might be one of the better cards in those sort of decks, honestly, because in like this Death Rattle deck, because you're just drawing a cheap Death Rattle, and then you're costing it 0. The only problem is, if you want to play this, you want to play big Death Rattle minions, and this means you have to play some small Death Rattle minions, but you could always draw them with this beforehand, so it's not the end of the world. I don't think it's going to be like, I could say 4 stars, it's going to be a really good kind of deck, but I think I'm just going to say, because this will be like a low tier 2-3 meta deck, probably tier 3, but 3 stars, I don't think it's going to be crazy. It'll be really important in the deck. It's not going to go crazy. It'll be a good card. Because things costing 0 is always great. Like, it'll be great turn 4 play when you play this. But then probably you have to include small Death Rattles. Paleomancy. Discover an undead. Spend 5 corpses to keep all 3 in a stead. I mean, sure. Death Knight could always just chuck this in their deck. A lot of different decks because they want to discover things. And a corpse spender for the quest, but I don't think the quest is going to be very good. See, the thing is, the quest didn't even get much support. Because there's already lots of corpse spenders anyway. But I think I'm going to say will be 2 stars. You're going to see niche play. You'll see it in Death Knight decks because they just want to discover and Death Knight do that. A way to spend corpses, but it's pretty slow. But sometimes Death Knights have slow control things. Like, it's not like Headless Horseman and Kindred and Rooting Out, which is like a control deck for Death Knight, isn't there? 2 stars. Alright, Bone Chill Stegodon. Death Rattle deals 6 damage to 3 random enemies. 2 frost. So this is going like the Frost Death Rattle. Try and kill your opponent deck. So I'm just going to say 3 stars because I think that's all. I'm giving all these cards 3 stars. It'll be a fine deck, nothing crazy. If 2 of these come out, hit each other, deal 6 damage to 3. I don't think it deals. Let's say 3 different random enemies. No, it says 3 random enemies. So I think it'll definitely different things. If your opponent has no minions, I think it'll just do 6 to the face and no more. Or 12 for the face if you summon 2 of them. Yeah, it's a card that can clear the board with the 8 mana card, but then that's kind of slow as well. That's why it's not going to be like a crazy deck. And that's why it's 3 stars. Moving on. 3 mana 1/1 Reborn. Summon a 2/2 undead beast with a taunt. This is just an annoying card. Oh, man. I'm hesitant to give this a higher star rating because we've seen the 2 mana 2/2 that summons the 1/1 Reborn that has Rush. But this doesn't have taunt or anything, so it's not like your opponent has to deal with it. They could just go face. You summon a taunt. But it is a bit slow, 3 mana. But you could always draw it with that other card. I think I'm just going to give it 3 stars as well. I'm not going to give it quite 4. It's a nice Death Rattle card to be included in that deck. The only weird thing with this Death Rattle deck is you kind of have to hopefully you draw your low cost Death Rattles, which this card really helps with that. Before you do your big plays with bigger Death Rattles, which will be this plus some other neutral ones, I think. Alright, 1 mana Crypt Map, 2 Frost. Discover a Frost Rune card if you play it this turn. Also pick one of the others. So this card will go in that Frost deck. It could be like one of the better cards because you're discovering a Frost Rune card you play this turn. Also pick one of the others. Like it's always nice to like discover 2 cards for 1 mana. But you do have to play it. And there are some expensive Frost cards. I think I'm just going to give it 3 stars as well because there's not really a Frost deck currently. If you run a Frost deck, you're probably running all this stuff. Maybe it's more of a spell Frost deck, and this can help you deal burst damage at the end. But 3 stars because it's going to go in that same deck. So Death Knight overall is going to have an okay Death Rattle deck, and I think the Quest deck sucks. It also got pretty much no support. I got 1 Corpse Spender. Everything else in Standard already kind of supports it. There's way to copy locations, but yeah, bit slow, I think. All right, on to Demon Hunter. 1 mana, Unleash the Colossus quest. Deal exactly 2 damage to an enemy on your turn 15 times. Reward Gorishi Colossus, which is a 5 mana 8/8 battle card. For the rest of the game, whenever you deal exactly 2 damage to an enemy, deal 2 more. Some of the cool artwork. Now, dealing 2 on your turn 15 times is a lot, but there are a lot of cards to help do this. There's definitely, like, whenever Demon Hunter gets a crazy combo type cards, they almost always find a way to go crazy with it and absolutely wreck opponents. All right, Demon Hunter already have a few ways to deal exactly 2 damage to an enemy. So I do think this is going to be very, very possible. The only question is Demon Hunter going to break the game with this? Because once you get this quest complete, you really need to start doing the face damage, which is for every 2 is 4. It just depends how quick can you get this off. And you do have to play the 5 mana 8/8, which will be a really slow turn. And if your opponent has like built up armor, built up a good board, it is going to be harder to kill them because it's not like you're rushing them down. It's going to be a little bit slower. Man, I really want to give this like 5 stars, honestly. I'm thinking about it. Like, is this going to be a tier 1 deck meta defining? Because Demon Hunters, they just know how to do this crazy stuff, which is such a pain. Honestly, this is probably, normally I hate Demon Hunter, but this actually kind of looks like a fun way to do the quest. Who knows? Maybe when it's a tier 1 meta deck, it's not going to be so fun. And obviously, I want to do some bold predictions. I don't want to play it safe everywhere. So you know what? Maybe this isn't a bold prediction, but I think this is going to be 5-star quest. Let's go. Demon Hunter's actually kind of been weak recently as well. Demon Hunter need, like, even though when Demon Hunter's broken is not fun, they've been pretty weak recently. They haven't actually had many good expansions. So it's time. It's time. So they're going to do it. They have plenty of ways to do it. There is one really important card already in Standard, which is Fellfire Blaze, which is after you cast a Fell spell, destroy this and deal 2 damage to all enemies. That could be 7 triggers potentially. It probably won't be. Or 8 triggers with the face. This one is going to do a lot. Like I remember I rated this card. I saw it. I'm like, this is garbage. 1 star. Maybe they'll be cut way. All the Demon Hunter cards last expansion, I remember all of them. I thought were trash, but had potential. And now this potential could actually start coming right now. So this might actually be an important card. It's like a mini board clear plus helps the quest. It's like they're preparing for the quest, right? Anyway, Demon Hunter also have other ways to deal 2 damage currently, plus some new cards we're about to go through. But yeah, 5 stars. It's going to be a tier 1 deck. They're going to find a way to make it a tier 1 deck. Now on to their other legendary. 9 mana Entomologist Tori. Battle cry, put each minion in your hand into 0/1 jars that cost 1. Break them to release the minions. So essentially, you're trying to get a bunch of big death rattles into 0/1 jars, and then you play the 0/1 jars, and you destroy the 0/1 jars, and you can just have a massive board on one specific turn. I don't see this card at all. 1 star. This card is useless. Like, you're spending, it's a 9 mana 7/7, do nothing. Maybe you can if you play it on turn 10, then you play one of the jars, but so what? Your opponent's not going to destroy the jar. Maybe there's some weird combo where you can win the game. I'm sure there will be, but I feel like it's going to be very slow and hard to pull off, that it probably will not be worth it. So You're staying at 1 star. So yeah, I just don't see this card. Gorishi, well, 6 mana 2/8. Whenever this takes damage, get a 1-cost Gorishi Stinger, which is a deal 2 damage from a 2/1 grub. So this is a really nice card for the quest. It is a bit on the slower end though. Like it's a 6 mana 2/8, and you just gotta play it. And then this doesn't have rush itself, but it is when it takes damage, not like when it attacks. It's probably one of the worst cards for the quest deck, just because of how slow it is. But it does give you these, so this will see probably be in the deck. And I'm going to give most of these cards 5 stars because I think it's going to be a tier 1 deck. But this is probably one that I wouldn't surprise see cut, even though it has a bunch of 2 damage thingies, because it is on your turn. So your opponent could obviously, when the opponent attacks it. But I think this one will be potentially cuttable, but it'll probably still be at least one of them in the deck, or like one of the worst cards in the deck, but you need to have it. So I'm going to say this one's 4 stars, just because it's going to be kind of like the last tier cards for this important deck. Fumigate. Deal 3 damage to a minion and all minions of the same type. If only this was still 2 damage. But yeah, a nice board cliff for Death Knight for Demon Hunter. Deals 3 to a minion and all minions of the same type. So it's good against probably aggro decks, because most of the time there's a good chance aggro decks run the same minion type. Could be a good control-ish deal damage card for Demon Hunter. They don't have a ton of them. Won't probably be in the quest deck because you'd rather do other things. But it's going to be a nice Demon Hunter card overall, and could definitely find its way into a multitude of slower Demon Hunter decks. I think it's just a fine card. So I'm going to say 3 stars for this. It's not going to be breaking the game. And if it does find its way into the good Demon Hunter decks, it's just going to be like a bottom tier card you chuck in. Bug Squasher, 4 mana 5/3. Battlecry, deal 6 damage to an enemy with a minion type. I mean, you can kill something. I just don't see you're going to be caring. I mean, you're playing a 4 mana 5/3 to maybe kill a minion. Later the game goes, the worse it gets. If you're versing an aggro deck, you're just killing 1 minion and they have a bunch of other ones. Probably not very good. I'm thinking if this will even see niche play. Probably not. We've seen things that deal 6 to specific types. At least this is any type. And if a minion doesn't have a type, then you're really screwed as well. And it's also, your opponent will be able to deal with this so much easier as well. 1 star, I think this card is trash. Insect Claw is the first deal 2/1. 3 mana 2/2, the better one. After your hero attacks, someone 2/1 grub. So this is 2 attacks and then 2. So this is 4 in 1. 2 of these cards is 8 triggers on your 15. It's halfway there, which is pretty good. So I'm going to say 5 stars. It has to be 5 stars. I'm going to quest 5 stars. I have to give most of the supporting tools 5 stars. It's going to be very, very important in the quest deck to get the quest done to eventually kill your opponent. And then also, if this could go face for 4 damage. 2 mana, get 2/1 costs Gorishi Stingers. Each one deals 2 damage and summons a 2/1 grub with Rush. So that's those Stingers we saw, but this is a way easier way to get it. And you get 2 of them. And this is another 4 triggers overall, because you get 2. They both have 2 in it. 5-star card has to be 5 stars. It's an easy way to deal 2 damage and summon 2/1 grubs. And yeah. These are going to be important to go face for 4 damage as well. And then you might include, I wonder if you include spell damage in this deck at all. Just for like a late game push. I'm curious. Well, guess we'll wait and see. But yeah, important card. 5 mana 5/2 rush. Kindred, give your hero +5 attack this turn. I mean, it's a big burst to go face. You can go face at 5. Or just try and kill things. But it's a 5 mana 5/2. It's not a terrible card though. Just because giving your hero +5 attack's nice. And it kills a minion. It could be like a 2 trade. You got to play a beast a turn before though. And it helps with like an aggro push. Could see if I in the quest deck. I don't know if it would though. Whenever you can get burst of like 5 attack, it's pretty good. And you can clear like minion as well with this itself. It is 5 mana, which is pretty slow though. And it's not really contributing towards the quest. I think it's gonna I'm gonna say 1 star. Because the Kindred is going to be annoying to do as well, especially if you want to do this like late game. Maybe just give your hero +5 attack to attack your opponent. There's not that much anyway, and you got to play beasts. There are some beasts in like the quest deck, but I don't know if you would want to include this. So I'm going to say 1 star. I don't think it's going to see play in the quest deck or any other Demon Hunter deck. All right, Gurushi Tana, 3 mana 2/4 stealth. After this attack, still 2 measure the enemy hero. 5-star card. It's another important card in the quest deck. You can deal 2 damage. Well, he has stealth, so it's unlikely he's going to die, especially if you play on turn 3. This is 1 trigger. This is 2 triggers. So you get 2 triggers on 1. If it survives, you get even more. It can really help push the quest. Nice card. Hive Map. Discover a Fel spell. If you play it this turn, also pick one of the others. Really nice Demon Hunter card, probably. Fel spells are most of the time, most Fel spells are pretty cheap, so you're going to be able to discover more. You're going to need this for the quests because you're going to have other Fel spells you discover. Is this one a Fel spell? It's not a Fel spell. That's unfortunate. There are some Fel spells not here, like the one that deals 2 damage to the 2 lowest health enemies. I'm not sure. There's probably some other ones maybe that deal 2 damage. So you will need this in the quest deck. It just helps provide more value. I'm going to say 5 stars. It's going to be a good card in the quest deck. And it's just a good Demon Hunter card overall anyway, I think. 5-star card. Druid. All right. Restore the Wild quest. Fill your board on 3 of your turns. The Everbloom. The Everbloom 3 mana 2/5. After your attacks, give you minions +2/+2. I think this quest will be fine. I don't think it's going to be crazy. I don't think it's going to be that hard to fill your board on 3 of your turns because Druid got a lot of fill board stuff. But the only problem is you can attack, give you more +2/+2, and then what? Your board gets cleared. They got to fill it up and give it +2/+2 again. I guess the opponent has to clear your board a lot of times, and you're just constantly putting pressure on them. The quest is cheap. Reward, it won't be that hard to fill. You know, I'm actually thinking about this more. I think it's going to be pretty good. I think just putting so much pressure every turn. It just depends. Like, if you filled your board 3 turns, you do it, you attack, they clear your board, you fill your board, you attack. Can you fill your board? They clear it again. Can you fill your board any more times? I'm not sure. And there's a lot of board clears in the game at the moment, right? I think so. And you're not going to be doing a ton of... you might be doing a ton of damage early. You are playing pretty aggro-y. I'm going to say this card's 4 stars. Cautionally, because I don't think it's going to be that great. But I think the Druid quest deck will be a thing. And obviously, it's only going to be because of the quest. The weapon's going to be very, very important for like an aggro-type Druid card deck. But I think unlike Demon Hunter, where I gave everything 5 stars, we're going to... I'll see what I do. Let me go through the cards. First of all, there's the other legendary. 7 mana 5/5 battle card. Your minions cost 5 this game. Load the Living Legend. This could break the game. I don't think right now it would. You play it for 7 mana. Your minions cost 5 this game. You can play 2 a turn. Maybe there's a way to choose some crazy combos. This card, I think this card is definitely one of the hardest to evaluate in this expansion, honestly. Because you really got to look at all the 10 mana cards and 9 mana and 8 mana. Druid can always break the game with effects like this they have in the past. I just go out on a whim and say 4 stars, 5 stars, just because I know Druid's gonna go crazy with this. You know, I'm just gonna say it because you can play. You just play big minions. You play this on turn 7, then all of a sudden you can play your 9 and 10 costs straight away, and on turn 10 you can play 2 big minions plus do other things with your spells. I'm gonna say 5 stars for this card. Honestly, these cards always break the game, and Druid is gonna break the game with this card. It always does. Druid will do it. There's a lot of good big stuff at the moment in the game, and being able to play it earlier or cheat it out, and you can always ramp to this. There's only 1 ramp card, I think, but still just ramping to this. Or was it 2 ramp? Anyway, ramping to this, you're gonna be able to do crazy things with it. I'm gonna say 5 stars. It's a bit slow, but Druid out. Like as long as you play this and survive, I think you could win the game from there. 4 mana 5/1 Death Roll, summon a 0/1 Eternal Blood Petal, which is summons an Eternal Blood Petal, Seedling Blood Petal. Yeah, they go back and forth and summon each other infinitely. Except this one's a 4 mana 0/1, but there are ways to buff it. I think I was hovering over this by accident. Yeah, summons this 0/1, summons the 5/1. Infinite card. The only problem is you're playing 4 mana for a 5/1, which is very, very slow, and you want to be filling the board up. This card will probably be in the board filled deck just because it's infinite on the board. Except it's not going to be... Unlike... Like, the thing with, like, Demon Hunter, you need these deal 2 damage things after you complete the quest as well. You don't really need these as much once you complete... I mean, you do need to keep filling the board up. But you have so many ways to fill the board up. I think, obviously, this is 4 star because it's going to really carry the deck. But this is 3-star card. It'll be a nice card in the deck, but it's very slow on the turn you play. You're not going to be able to fill the board you play it on the turn you play it, so it's a bit weaker. 1 mana life cycle, destroy a minion, summon a random minion at the same cost to replace it. I mean, you'd love to destroy minions. It's kind of a Hail Mary if you're destroying an opponent's minion, obviously, because it means they're getting a minion back of the same cost. But if there's a really big threat, you can destroy it. You can destroy your own minion if it's low on health and can get another big card. Especially if you're destroying your own minions. This might be better for destroying. You like trade your minions on 1 or 2 health. You replace it with another big minion. Kind of like the idea of that, honestly. So 1 mana nature spell as well. If you really have to use it on opponents, you can. Hope for the best. I'm going to say 4 stars. I think it's going to be a good board. A slightly good clear and really good for destroying your own stuff. Hybridization. Draw 1, 2, 3, and 4 cost minion Kindred that cost 1 less. Well, Druid have plenty of nature spells. It's going to be pretty easy to do the Kindred. And you can make your stuff very cheap. This could be in a lot of Druid decks. Could definitely be in the aggro Druid deck. And you just fill your boards up. You're drawing 4 minions with this. You're probably not playing this in like the low deck because you have big minions only in that. But you're still playing this in a lot of other stuff. I'm going to say this one is... because this helps you like just put out more threats for the quest. So I'm going to say 4 stars. This will be more important in the quest deck than some of the minions that you're filling your board up. Because that at least allows you to get a lot of the minions. Doing a lot of threats. It is a slow turn when you play it. But the quest is, even though you're trying to aggro your opponent down, is a little slow at times. And you don't always need to play this. 3 mana, 2/3 Battlecry. Give your other minions with 2 or less attack, +1, +2, and taunt. Hatchery Helper. Now this actually is another way to just buff your whole board, which is pretty damn good. I'm going to say this one's 4 stars as well, because it's another way to buff the board that you're already filling up, so you don't have to complete the quest and you can just go face and do a lot of damage. It buffs your buffs your eggs, like the hatchling, and there's another egg coming up. Buffs your bad minions, just make them better, and you just can slowly deal damage. Ravenous Flock. At the start of your next turn, summon 3, 2, 1 hatchlings. Right, you know what? Before I was talking about not giving this things 4 stars, but I think I'm going to keep giving them 4 stars. 4 stars, because they're actually very important to the deck. This just summons 3, 2, 1 hatchlings. That's a lot. If you play this on turn 2, then turn 3, all you have to do is play 4. I mean, 4 minions is hard, but you have ways of doing it if you already have other stuff on the board. You're really going to have to fill your board up to complete the quest, and this will help towards that. Trees. 5 mana, choose a minion, summon 4 2/2 trains that attack it. This could fill your board up the turn you play it. I think this is a bit more like on the weaker side. I'm going to say this one's 3 stars. You might not even see this one in the quest deck. It can definitely help because you're putting 4 minions on your board and you could complete it like you could get 1 turn done instantly. But it's a bit slow for 5 mana. I mean, it's not slow. You're putting 4 minions on the board and you could kill a minion. You really have to fill the board when you play this though. 3 mana, Sky Screamer Eggs. Death will summon 4 2/1 hatchlings. You can definitely, there's lots of ways to buff this. You can get the 2/1s out. Pretty nice card. I think this is going to be important to fill the board up. 4 stars. 3 mana eggs really slow, but I feel like this quest you're not completing until turn 5, 6 because you're just you're setting up for it, and then hopefully you just constantly put threats out. But we'll see. 2 mana, draw a minion if it has 5 or more attack, give it +5 health, and gain 5 armor. I mean, that's pretty... you're 2 mana to draw a big minion. You're probably only running big minions in the low deck anyway. You give it +5 health, and you gain 5 armor. 2 mana, draw a minion, gain 5 armor. Well, we know a card like that. I'm going to say 4 stars. That's a solid Druid card. It's going to see... You're going to chuck it in your big Druid deck with low, because it draws you a minion. It makes your minion better, and you get some armor. Sure, why not? All right. On to Hunter. Let's go. I love Hunter. All right. The Food Chain Quest. Quest player 1, 3, 5, and 7 attack beast. Reward Shock. Shock. Jungle Tyrant. Rush. Battlecry. 8 mana. 5 mana 9/9 beast. Rush. Battlecry. Get a random 8, 6, and 4 attack beast. Set their cost to 2. Another 5-star card. 5-star quest. This is, I think... I mean, I rated the other one 5-star, the Demon Hunter, but I think this one's going to be better. Yeah. Let's go. I love this quest. You play this on turn 1. And then you play... Because I'm pretty sure you can get this done by turn 5. I saw like a combo. I mean, it's very unlikely you ever do. You probably get it done by turn 6 or 7 on average. But yeah. Very good card. We'll look through what the 1, 3, and 5 or 7 attack beasts that they got this expansion are. Let's go. Near the Creator, when you play a 1-cost minion, double its stats whenever you cast a 1-cost spell, cast it twice. I'm pretty sure they have to be original cost. Not sure about the spell, but for the minion, it does have to be original cost. Still a good card, though. You can cast 1-cost spells twice. It can help you push you over the edge to kill your opponent, or just get big stats out. I don't know any great combos with this card, but I just feel like it's going to be good. You probably chuck it in the food chain deck anyway, because you're going to have 1-cost minions, you're going to have 1-cost spells, and I think it's just a decent card. I don't think it's going to be like important. I don't think it's a bit slow. I don't think it's going to carry decks. I think it's going to be a really nice card in the good decks. I'm actually going to say this is 4 stars, so it can be crucial to like the quest deck or like any probably really good hunter deck. 5 mana Supreme Dynamancy. Give just 2+2 to all beasts in your hand, deck, and battlefield. Nice buff. The only problem is if you have a board, it could push you over the edge. It's kind of like a mini Bloodlust, but it also gives you health. Also buffs deck and your hand and battlefield, so you're buffing everything permanently. Hopefully, because if you do this without completing the quest, you probably screwed yourself because your minions are going to be designed around the quest. Like if you make whatever cards you get out of this that costs 2, you can make them even better. It'll probably C-play in the deck, but I don't think it's also going to be. I don't think it's going to be one of the crucial ones, like a nice buffer that could also be cut. 4 stars, but it definitely has a chance to be like one of the important cards in the deck, but not super important cards in the deck. 4 mana 5/4 Kindred, deal damage to an enemy minion equal to this minion's attack. Well, here's one of the 5 attack cards that you're going to be playing for 4 mana, and it can kill a minion. Pretty good. If you buff the attack, kills an even bigger minion. 5 stars. I mean, it's a 5 attack minion. It's a good 5 attack minion. You're probably playing a lot of beasts. Obviously, if you have this in your hand, you're going to make sure you play a beast on turn 3. But yeah, nice card. Here's a good one. 6 mana 7/5 Beast Rush Kindred. Costs 2 less. Oh, here's your 7 attack one. And it costs 2 less. Pitchwing Ravager. 5-star card. I mean, this is a 4 mana 7/5 Rush. That is insane. That is nuts. Oh, man. So if you play this on turn 4, can you actually complete the quest by turn 5? Your 7 attack would be turn 4. Your 5 attack would be Mukla on turn 3. I don't know if you can do 1 and 3 in turn 1 and 2. On turn 2. I feel like I saw a way that you could do it. I'm not exactly sure. Maybe it was by turn 6 you could do it. You'd have to do it by turn 6, but it's pretty unlikely. Anyway, 5-star card. It's a 4 mana 7/5 Rush. Pretty good stats on that turn. You get your 7 attack done for the quest. Nice card. 3 mana 0/5 Beast. At the end of your turn, game +1 attack even while in your hand or deck. Grazing Stegodon. I mean, the turn you play this is a 3 mana 3/5. It doesn't count towards a quest though, because if you play it on turn 3, it's a 2/5, and then at the end of turn it becomes a 3/5, which kind of makes it bad for the quest, but it still has the potential to be never a 1 attack. It still has the potential to be a 3, a 5, or even a 7 attack if you get it late enough. So it's going to be very versatile, and even a 3 mana 3/5 is pretty good. It's pretty good, and it's a beast trigger on turn 3, and we've seen 2 important Kindred cards on turn 4 that you'd want to play a beast beforehand. So I'm going to say 5-star card, nice statted beast, helps your Kindred cards. May help the quest as well. 5 stars. 2 mana, Story of Carnessa. Shuffle 10/1, cost 3/2 rather than your deck with Battlecry, draw a card. Well, play a 1 mana 3/2 Battlecry, draw a card. I mean, you can just fill your board with random beasts. Maybe that's like an idea behind Dynamancy, so they become... What do they become? 5/4s. I mean, it's not terrible, but I don't think you care about doing this that much. Unless you can give them charge somehow, but I don't think there is a way to do that. I think I'm going to say... it's definitely 1 or 2 stars. I'm just thinking if I even give it a niche play. That's being very generous if I give this 2 stars, and I don't think it's going to say play. 1-star card. It's going to be unplayable. Sorry, Story Carnessa. You unplay Ungoro, now unplayable again. Cowan Fear. 2 mana. Deal 3 damage to a minion. The next beast you play this turn costs 2 less. Well, it's essentially if you play the beast, it's a 0 mana deal 3. These cards are always good. 5-star card. You're going to chuck it in the quest. You're going to play this into a beast. You can kill a minion, play your beast. It just helps. It just helps. It's a good card. Dino Sitter. 2 mana 2/3. At the end of your turn, reduce the cost of a random beast in your hand by 1. This can help get you some of your beasts out earlier. It isn't a beast itself, but you're running a lot of beasts in this beast deck. So you're probably running this as well. I'm just thinking if it's... I don't think it's super important to the deck. I don't think you care about reducing all your costs by 1. Maybe sometimes. So I'm going to say it's on the lower tier of this beast deck at 4 stars. But yeah, it's a nice card. Odd map. 1 mana odd map. Discover an odd attack beast. If you play this turn, also pick one of the others. I mean, this. If you somehow haven't drawn your odd attack beast, this will really help you get that quest done. So I'm going to say 5 stars. You're going to need this in the deck. You can also play it with the Neri. You get this done twice. But yeah. It's going to be a very important card. Overall, I'm really, really looking forward to Hunter. I think it's going to be the deck. It's definitely a quest I'm looking the most forward to. I think it's going to be a lot of fun to do. All right, on to Mage. The Forbidden Sequence. 1 mana, discover 8 cards, reward the Origin Stone, which is, after you discover a card, this plays the other options, loses 1 durability. Why is all this stuff here? Oh, this is like for very specific situations. Okay. I think this quest is extremely slow. After you discover a card, this plays the other options. I mean, playing the other options is nice for 8. You get to do it 8 times. You do have to discover 8 cards, which is pretty easy. Honestly, over the course of a game. Especially for Mage like to discover. But I do think it's a little bit slow. I think it's not unplayable trash. It won't be like a crucial card. It'll just be like a big discover deck where you're trying to kill your opponent with spells and help like put out big stats and whatnot. So I'm going to say 3 stars for the quest. It'll be good. It'll be a good quest, but it won't be like a meta-defining high-tier deck. It'll just be like a fine deck. The Legendary. Gain a random Titan ability in your hand that changes each turn. 777. I mean, you'll probably see this in a lot of Mage decks. I just feel like people are going to play it. Will it be good? I'm not exactly sure. It's not like you get a random Titan, so you can have the 3 options. You get a random Titan ability. There are definitely some really, really good ones on here. And the ones that are impossible don't get included or like will work, like the summon, like the infernal ones. Like you don't need the portal. So it's not like you're going to get something that doesn't work, which is good. Okay, but yeah, I think overall this will be a fine card in a lot of... I think you're just going to chuck it as... I'm just going to chuck it in that deck. I think you're going to chuck this in a lot of Mage decks. It's kind of slow, but you could just get a really, really good thing. I'm going to say 3 stars. I actually think people... I don't know if it'll be good, but you're going to see a lot of it, which means... And people are going to be playing it. But I'm going to say 3 stars. I think you're going to get wrecked by this card on occasion for sure. Conjured Bookkeeper. Death roll, draw a spell, Kindred, summon a copy of this. I mean, you got to play this, got to be chucked in an elemental deck. Mage don't really have, they did have elementals, but a lot of them got rotated, didn't they? I mean, you're just summoning, and you want to draw spells in like the fire elemental deck. The fire elemental deck's kind of been bad since some of the elementals are rotated. I don't think these are going to make elemental mage any good again. I don't even know if it'll be like a niche. I think it'll be a niche deck. I'm going to say 2 stars. Elemental Mage has always had some potential, but it's just a bit slow. 2 mana, summon a random 2-cost minion. If you discover this turn, summon a random 4-cost minion instead. 2 mana to summon a random 4-cost minion is good. You can't really play this on turn 2. Maybe you can play it on turn 3. It'll be included in the Discover deck. It'll be a fine card in that. Well, do you really care about summoning a random 2 or 4-cost minion? Probably not. I think that this will... I'm going to give this one 2 stars. It will see niche play in those Discover decks. You might include it. Maybe you'll see 1 copy of it. Maybe you'll see no copies. Maybe you'll see play in other Mage decks. But I think it's kind of bad. Not unplayable, but it's a bit slower in those Mage decks. Not as important. Relic of Kings. Discover a spell from any class that costs 8 or more. It costs 1. This is great if you get the quest reward. You kind of want to play this until you get the quest reward, because there's definitely some good ones. I mean, I wouldn't say Wheel of Death is terrible, because you can win the game. Fill in your board, help fill your board, summon big stuff, destroy. You don't want that. There's some good ones, some bad ones. Could you play an all spell deck? You probably could, and discover that from any class as well. Yep. 3 stars. It's going to be an important card in the Mage decks. You're going to want to complete the quest, then play this and discover lots of big things. And you can probably play on turn 10. You can play all 3 of them on the same turn. 3 mana Arcane Spell. Storage Scuffle. Deal 3 damage to a minion. Costs 0 if you discovered it this turn. So, 0 mana and deal 3 damage to a minion. Yes, please. 3 stars. I always say play in the Discover decks. Non-Discover decks, maybe. But the thing is, you might not be running enough Discovers, which could be a problem. But yeah, I think it'll be good in those decks. This is 0 mana, deal 3 damage. Nice. Story of the Waygate. 2 mana, reduce the cost of cards in your hand that didn't start in your deck by 1. Well, you're probably running a lot of... You're probably going to be discovering a lot of cards that didn't start in your hand. You could definitely be... You will definitely be discovering a lot once you complete the quest. But how important is it? I mean, You can't really set this up for a combo because you got random cards. I think maybe you'll see this in some of the decks, but I don't think it'll be important. 2 stars. Won't be important to those cards. See niche play in them. In those Discover decks. The other Elemental. 4 mana, 4/5 Elemental. After you summon Elemental, deal 3 damage to a random enemy. This card would have been so good with the Elemental that's filled your board, but that got rotated, didn't it? So it's pretty slow. But you can definitely play this later on with more Elementals. So you could play this and then try and play other Elementals. But do you really care about 2 damage? Not really. I'm going to say this one's 1 star. It's even worse for the Elemental deck. If Mage is not on the deck, I think this actually gets cut because it's just very slow. At least the other one has a small chance of being in those decks. Vault Breaker, 3 mana, 2/4. After you discover a card, reduces cost by 1. Pretty good card. You can play this, you can discover, you can reduce the card. If you play it once you complete the quest, I think it will reduce all 3. I assume. What's the wording of the quest? It says this plays the other. Oh, it plays the other options. Oh yeah, it doesn't even discover for you. It's actually still 3 stars, but I forgot you didn't actually. These actually get played automatically for you. Why do I think I just added them to your hand? That means this can stay at 2 stars. Well, you're definitely be discovering 3 stars. You'll probably chuck this in the deck. If it stays alive, you can or you discover multiple cards in the turn. You can definitely discover a lot or reduce the cost of a lot, which is good. Nice card. 1 mana, 1/1 battle card. Discover a card with cost equal to your remaining mana crystals. 3 stars. If you really have nothing to do, you play this. You discover a card, and then you play that one, or you just play. You just discover a card. You don't play and do other stuff, and you save it for a future turn. Overall, I think Mage Discover deck will be fine. It'll be decent. It'll do some crazy things, but ultimately, you won't have a lot of like control for the deck, and it's kind of you're relying on some RNG. So that's why it's 3 stars. Murloc. Dive the Galactic Depths. Repeatable quest. Summon 5 Murlocs. Rewards Murloc you summon gain +1/+1. So you can just infinitely give... That is so different to this quest. I guess the little guys there. And then they're over there. Summon Murloc, give it +1/+1. So you're just infinitely summoning bigger and bigger Murlocs. There's a lot of ways to summon Murlocs. We've got some new cards that summon Murlocs. You got Grunty, which is finally going to see play. Like, if your Murlocs are +3/+3/+4/+4 by the time you play Grunty, that's a lot of damage. That's a lot of big Murlocs. Like, it's kind of crazy. You know, considering I gave the Druid quest 4 stars, I think this is actually better than the Druid quest. And I think this is going to be really pain in the ass to deal with. I think I'm going to give this 4 stars. It's kind of similar with the Druid quest, where you just put out lots of threats, you slow, and this one will also slowly buff them up, and you'll deal damage to your face. The only problem is, kind of with the Druid one, you could run out of damage to do before you kill your opponent, but ultimately it'll still be a very good quest. Summon 5 Murlocs, give them +1/+1. I think it'll be nice. It'd be easy to summon 5 Murlocs. Just depends how many times can you do it, and how many threats can you put out. Out of the 3 fleet. While this is alive, you get a 2-cost Holy Spell that gives a minion ++ Divine Shield. Give me your positive Divine Shield stage how while Ido is alive. Can you play this multiple times in one turn? I think you can. But I think it's very slow. Sorry, Ido. 1 star. I don't see why you're playing this. Do you really care about positive Divine Shield? You got to spend 6 mana to do that in a turn. That is so... you're not doing that. You could make this a 4/9 with Divine Shield and your opponent's harder to kill it. And next turn you could go crazy with this. But hey, what are you really doing with it? 1 star. Thresh Rider's Blessing. Give a friendly minion +4/+4 and Death Rattle. Summon a random 4-cost minion. That is a lot of stats. +4/+4 and then Death Rattle, you summon a random 4-cost. Blessing of Kings is 4 mana 4/4/4. And 1 more mana, you get to summon a random 4-cost. Whenever you see these type of cards play on a minion, you're like, oh god, they just made that minion huge. Now I have to deal with that and it summons a 4-cost. I think this will actually be good. It won't be crazy. 3 stars. It'll be a nice Paladin card that goes into a lot of Paladin decks. And could go on the Murloc deck. Depends how the Murloc deck shapes out. Definitely like more burst damage, so definitely could. 4 mana, Creature Sacred Cave. At the end of your turn, recast a random holy spell you cast this turn. Can work with that, which would be very, very nice. If you play 4, if you go turn 4, it survives into this, you're winning the game. You're not winning the game, but that's a big minion. We cast a random spell, you cast a turn, you target this as well. 3 stars. It works well with that previous spell. 2 definitely works with like a lot of holy spells. This is kind of like holy spell synergy stuff, but this one's just too slow to play. There are other good holy spells in the game, I think. I think now. But this will just be a decent paladin card that fits with this. And if only this was a Murloc. If this was a Murloc, it could be perfect, but it's not. 6 mana, Tiger, Rush, Death, or summon 3/2/1 Murlocs, give them each a random bonus effect. Murloc Beast. There's 4 Murlocs in one for the quest. Very important card, and they get random bonus effects. Dressed up. 4 stars. It's kind of funny it's a beast, because it's not actually, they're dressed up as a beast. These ones aren't beasts. I guess they're like mini beasts. This became the full beast. 4 stars though. It will be very crucial in the Murloc deck. Violet Treasure. Your Battlecry. Cast a random spell from your deck that costs 2 or less. Target this if possible. Which is good for the next card as well. This won't... I mean, here's the thing. This is probably like a 3-star-ish card, but because I think you need to play as many Murlocs as possible, it's going to be chucked in with the 4-star. But it's... I'm trying to think what other good spells from your deck cost 2 or less are. I'm sure that there's the next one, but I don't think that one's that crazy. I'm sure you can run other Murlocs things. But you also got to run spells. But this actually takes the spell out of your deck, which is not terrible, right? Because it's casting it. You're not casting a copy. So I'm going to say 4 stars. You'll see this in the Murloc deck. And you'll run some spells that cost 2 or less. Including this one. Story of Galvadon. Give a minion 3 random bonus effects. You can give this 3 random bonus effects. Not terrible. Divine Shield, Elusive, Lifesteal, Poisonous, Reborn, Rush, Taunt. Wind Fury, you could win the game with that potentially. Divine Shield's good. Elusive's not terrible. Early in the game, Lifesteal probably doesn't matter. Poisonous can be good. Reborn can be good. Rush can be good. Taunt is fine. Yeah. It was not going to be, might not include this, but it could be included with that other Murloc and potentially other spells. 3-star card. Nice paladin card. 3 mana, Battlecry. Your next Murloc costs 2 less Kindred and gains Divine Shield. Pretty good Murloc. 3 mana, 2/4 Murloc. That makes your Murloc cheaper and gives it Divine Shield. 4 stars. It's a Murloc. You chuck it in the Murloc quest deck and helps you get out Murlocs quicker. 3 mana, Ready the Flay. Give a +1/+2 to a friendly minion and your other minions that share a type with it. Well, you can buff all your Murlocs with this. If only this was 2 mana, or this one said 3 or less, that'd be perfect. Obviously, it's all minions on board, but assuming you're going to have lots of Murlocs on board throughout the game, this will be good at some point. +1/+2 to everything. Can put them out of like potential board clear range as well. You're probably running this in the Murloc decks, but it's not a Murloc itself, which means I think I have to give it 3 stars, just because it could definitely be cuttable if it's a bit too slow and you'd rather just put more Murlocs in. But it helps buff your Murlocs a bit. Submerge map. Discover a Murloc after you play this turn. Also pick one of the others. 4 stars. It's a Murloc card that you're discovering Murlocs with. Of course, you're going to run it. Discovering. Play 2 Murlocs with this 1 mana card. Yeah. Ultimately, I do think there are enough Murlocs that makes this quest good. It just depends if you run out of resources to finally finish off your opponent. Could be a problem. Maybe where some like holy synergy stuff come in with this card. I'm not sure though. Yeah. But yeah, I think Murloc Paladin will be good. It's kind of on the same tier with the Druid's quest. But yeah. Alright, the Priest quest. 1 mana, reach Equilibrium quest. Cast 5 holy spells. Reward Life's Breath. Quest. Cast 5 Shadow Speth. Reward Death Touch. So 2 rewards. This one is Taunt Battlecry. Summon a copy of this. 5 mana 4/5 mental. That's kind of bad. The other one's 5 mana 4/4 Death Threat. Reborn Death Threat. Deal 5 damage to a random enemy. Better. And then if you do both of them, they combine. Taunt Reborn Battlecry. Summon a copy of this. Death Rattle, deal 5 damage to a random enemy. That is pretty good. A 5 mana 8/8 with Taunt. 2 5 mana 8/8s with Taunt. They both have Reborn. They both deal 5 damage to a random enemy. And then they do 5 damage to a random enemy again when they come back. This card, honestly, you can't play them individually. You could play this one individually, but you don't really want to. This one you definitely can't play individually. Combined, very good. You do have to cast a lot of holy spells. I think this quest is actually going to be really, really good. Because once you complete the quest, you want to be able to add this to your hand. There are ways to do it. Looking at the cards, I don't think there are a ton of cards that actually copy this to your hand anymore. I think most of them are rotated. There's the 2 mana one that gives you a copy, but I don't think that's in the game anymore. I don't really play Priest much. The thing with Priest is they do have that 4 mana location, which is going to see play, and you're just going to copy out your opponent's quest rewards. So Priest is going to be a good deck no matter what, I feel like, just because of that. And this is just a solid card that will see play in like any controlled Priest deck. Like you're going to be running Shadow, you're going to be running Holy Spells, and you're just going to be being annoying. There is the card that resummons your highest cost minions. So this could always be your highest cost, but in the control deck, you probably want other high cost minions. Unless I'm missing something, I don't think you can really actually copy this, add it back to your hand, except for expensive ways. And if this is your highest cost card, then maybe it's like an aggro deck, but I'm not entirely sure. I think this is going to be a really solid reward that you can play in like a control priest deck. So I'm going to say 4 stars for this. It'll be really, really good. Won't break this individual card. Won't break them. It'll just be when you get it, it'll just be a real pain to deal with. Could win you the game on occasion, but yeah, it'll be nice. All right, let's see the cards. Arceus. Whenever another friendly minion attacks at its health equal to this minion's health. 3 mana 1/6. Very slow, weird base card. I guess maybe if you're running an aggro deck, all your small health cards become 6 health all of a sudden. And this is kind of a pain to kill and deal with because it is a 3 mana 1/6. But also it's a 3 mana 1/6 and you're playing that in an aggro deck. I'm not sure. I mean, there is an aggro deck at the moment in Priest. If you play this on turn 3, then attack with your cards that are still alive, you all of a sudden get 6 health, which would be very annoying to deal with. I just don't see it. I think we'll see niche play. I don't think it's unplayable. So I'm going to say 2 stars. There's always ways to buff this and make your cards even better. But I think unless you only see it in an aggro deck, which is kind of weird. It only has 1 attack. I don't see it playing anywhere else. 6 mana Glazesong Siren. 4 mana 6 mana 4/7 lifesteal. Costs 1 if you played a Holy and Shadow spell this turn. 4 stars! Perfect in the Holy Shadow deck. It is a 1 mana 4/7 lifesteal. When you play 2 things, you're going to be able to do that a lot. So it's going to be a great card in that deck. 5 mana Shadow. Resurrect a 1, 2, and 3 cost minion. Give them Reborn. You could give this Reborn, but I don't think you care about that much. Pretty slow. You're probably not running in this in the Shadow deck. You're probably running this in like another type of deck. I'm not even sure if you really want to run this. This could honestly be good in like an aggro deck. You're just resummoning minions and giving them Reborn. Very, very annoying. I just don't see much point in this because it's not like 1, 2, and 3 attack. It's 1, 2, 3 cost. It's a very annoying card, but I don't think it's going to be too crazy. I'm going to say this sees niche play as well. 2 stars. It probably won't see play in most priest decks. 7 mana Wilted Shadow. 7/7/7 elemental lifesteal. Whenever you heal an enemy, this attacks it. Well, I saw this card and you think of combos, and there are some combos that you can deal with this. So you could play that 3 mana spell, which summons your highest cost minion that died this game. Like if you play this on turn 7, it's kind of slow, but it dies. You play, hopefully get to turn 10, you play the 3 mana, 2 7s, and then you like heal your opponent's face with bandages, which you can get just healing, and you can just absolutely wreck your opponent. Not too bad on it. I don't think it's that hard of a combo to pull off either, because here's the thing: this can't really be countered entirely because it'll bypass taunt. Dirty Rat you don't care about because you want this to come out. If someone Dirty Ratted this, you'll be like, oh, perfect, I don't have to play it now. It's only if it gets like removed, so it doesn't actually die itself. Like if a Hex, Polymorph, remove this from the game type effect, it has to actually die. That's the only thing. But if opponent can't really leave it on the board either because it is lifesteal. It's threatening. I think I'm going to say it's going to be a good combo deck. It'll be a bit slow, but Priest could deal with it. I'm going to say 4 stars. Well, you know what? I don't think this combo is going to be hard to pull off at all. You have ways to deal with aggro in like a Priest matchup anyway. I don't know if you could run it in this type of deck. Because you could have this as your highest cost, and that's what you do with this deck. But maybe if you're more of like a aggro type deck with this, you could actually run it in there. But this could also just make its own deck. I'm gonna say 5-star card. I think this card is gonna be really easy to pull off a kill your opponent combo with. With that other, obviously you need that 3 mana spell. That's the 5-star card really, but this is the killer. I don't think it's gonna be that hard. You are healing your opponent every time this attacks for a little bit. You could play the new Crocodile, which doesn't mean your opponent can't get healed, but probably not. But with 2 of them on the board, you can just do so much damage. You get bandages. You have your hero power. If you're not imbuing, you have other stuff. I think this combo won't be that difficult to pull off. Honestly, maybe I'm living in Disneyland, but I honestly am gonna give this 5 stars. I think it's gonna be pretty easy, and you're gonna see it a lot. Once the deck gets figured out, like it won't day 1, it'll be hard to pull off, maybe. But people are playing greedy. But once the deck gets figured out, whether it includes the quest or whether it doesn't include the quest in the same deck, will wait to be seen. Because you could just have it in the quest deck and as your highest cost, and if your other highest cost could be this, and you could always just resummon these ones instead with the spell if you don't get this to die. So yeah, 5-star card. All right, Grey Dawn Void Bulb. Summon a random 4-cost minion, give it Taunt. Kindred, do it again. Fantastic. 2 4-costs with Taunt. Could be bad, but it's a shadow spell. Gonna see playing those decks. 4 stars. It's a nice card. Nice defensive card too. 1 mana Glade Eagles. Death will get a 1-cost holy spell that gives a minion +2 or -2 health. Choose a minion if it's a friendly, give it +2 health. If the enemy, you get -2 health. 4 stars. You get a 1-cost holy spell, helps towards the quest. It's a 1 mana 2/1 guard. You could just play this on turn 1 without playing the quest because you actually got to play the holy spells. You don't. Some of these quests you don't actually have to play on turn 1. You can wait. But yeah. 10 mana Story of Amara. Set your hero's health to 40. Well, if you're low on health, you could play it. I don't see it though. I mean, you're spending 10 mana, do nothing. It could save you an extra turn, potentially, which could matter for that combo deck I was talking about. But it is 10 mana. If there's a way to reduce or cast it from your deck, then maybe. But I don't see it. I do think it could, in like a real control meta, against like aggro stuff. But it's just 10 mana. I'm seeing if there's a way to cheat it. You could make it cost less. You could discover it off the Imbue Hero Power. You might see that more often. I'm going to say, no, is it unplayable trash? I'm just thinking if you're running my combo deck that I'm thinking of, am I running this to help survive longer? Once you get to turn 10, you're probably hoping to do the combo though. So, and no, 1 star, unplayable trash. It's not going to see late. It's not going to see late. I'm sorry. It would be so nice, but it's not. It's not. It's bad. It's bad. I'm trying to trick myself here. Great Dawn Sunbloom. Draw 2 cards, Kindred. This costs 2 less. Oh, you can make this cost 2, which is very good to draw 2 cards. 4-star card. I'll be playing the quest deck in a lot of priest decks. 3 mana 3/4 Death Roll, get a random Holy and Shadow spell. 4 stars. You do need to play 5 Holy and 5 Shadow, which is a fair bit. But this will give you 1 of each. And it's a 3/3/4. Yeah, but it's fine. You'll get the spells. All right. I think Priest looks pretty good. I think the quest deck overall is 4 stars. And I think this could be a crazy combo wombo 5-star card. All right. Lie in Waits. The newest reveal. 1 mana Rogue Quest. Shuffle cards into your deck 5 times. Roared Master Dust. Hero card. Summon 2 3/3 ninjas with stealth. Your ninjas now shuffle back into your deck when they die. 1 mana, draw 2 cards that didn't start in your deck. So you gotta shuffle. It's not shuffle 5 cards in your deck. It's shuffle 5 different times. So you gotta play 5 cards that shuffle. I think this is kind of on par with the Murloc one and the Paladin and the Druid one. You're just filling your board with stuff. You're trying to slowly kill your opponent by constantly putting threats out. This one can get the threats back. So you're never actually gonna run out of 3/3s. And Rogue love this stuff. And who doesn't love a hero card? You could easily get this done by turn 5 as well, which is the crazy thing. And then you draw cards. I gotta say 5 stars. I'm gonna say 5 stars. 5 stars. I think this is very good. Unlike the Paladin and the Druid one, which you could aggro down your opponent, buff your board. You could run out of resources in those decks. This deck is gonna be much more unlikely to run out of resources. Rogue love to discover anyway. You're going to be constantly summoning 3/3s, and they're just going to constantly get shuffled back into your deck. So you're never going to run out of 3/3s. Your only problem is probably fatigue. This will draw 2 cards, because if it draws the ninjas, they will summon the ninjas, then those ninjas will draw a card anyway. And you have lots and lots of ways to shuffle things into your deck. All right, this card though. 6 mana, 6/4, Opal the Unseen, Battlecry combo, and Death Roll, cast Fan of Knives. I mean, Fan of Knives draws a card, so this is kind of drawing 3 cards if you can combo it. I think this will... No... Rogue have always hated expensive cards. And casting Fan of Knives could be good because you can draw cards and it can help clear the board, but it is a 6 mana 6/4 and there's not really a way to reduce it. 1 star. Sorry, Opu. You're such a cool card. I was thinking about giving you niche play, but I don't think it will see niche play. I think it's just way too slow for Rogue. And it's not a very good board clear anyway. Underbrush Tracker. 7 mana 5/5 rush costs 1 for each time you shuffle cards into your deck. 5 stars card. Easy peasy 5 stars. It's going to be a 0 mana 5/5. It's not how many cards you shuffled, it's each time you shuffled. Even if it's a 2 mana 5/5. Rogue love these type of cards, so yeah, 5 stars. This is going to reduce to 0 and be a pain in the ass. Knockback. Do 1 damage to a minion, improve for each time you shuffle cards in your deck. 5 stars. Rogue can definitely struggle to remove minions sometimes, but this is going to be 1 mana. Probably by the time this is important to play, it'll be like 1 mana deal 5, 1 mana deal 6, 1 mana deal 7. You're going to love it. It will be playing those decks for sure. Ambush Predators. Summon a 1/1 spitter with stealth and poisonous. Kindred, do it again. So you got to play a Shadow style. You get 2 stealth poisonous. If only it was Divine Shield poisonous. I don't think this is very good. I mean, they're going to be annoying to deal with and they have stealth, but it's so easy to clear board nowadays. You probably just clear this if you're worried about it. I don't really see many shadow stuff. I don't know what rogue cards actually shadow, but I don't see much point in this. 1 star. I don't think it's 3. If maybe it was 2 mana, but you need a, yeah, 1 star. You're never going to play this. I don't think you're ever going to bother playing this. Cultist map. Discover a card from your deck. If you play it this turn, also pick one of the others from. Oh, so you can actually get the cards from your deck. This was the first card revealed of one of the expansion, right? You can get cards from your deck, which is definitely good. 2 mana, draw a specific card. You play that card, you get others. Yeah, 5 stars. Great card. Great rogue card. Rogue loves this type of card. Amazing. 2 mana, Eyes in the Sky. Battlecry. Look at 3 cards in your enemy's deck. Pick one to put on top. So you can make your opponent draw something they do not want the next turn, but ultimately they're still drawing from the deck. 1 star. You're never just playing a 2. Rogues never just playing a 2 mana 2/3. Basically do nothing. They've got way better things to do. It's 1 star. Sorry, Eyes. You're kind of cool card, but not useful. 4 mana Nephirus Weaponsmith. 4 mana 5/4. Battlecry. Get a random weapon from another class. Combo. Give a +2 attack. 1 star. Why do you care about getting you get a random weapon from another class and you maybe give a +2 attack? You do not care about this. Discovering maybe would have been okay, but no, you don't care at all about this card. 2 mana, shuffle 3. Here's some of the shuffle cards. Shuffle 3 3/3 ninja stealth into your deck that are summoned when drawn. 5 star card. Fantastic rogue card. You're shuffling. I mean, this obviously counts as 1 trigger, but you have to do it 5 times. So 2 of these in the deck. More ninjas in the deck. More tempo. Hopefully those ninjas get shuffled back. Pretty good. Next card is 1 mana Merchant of Legend. 1 mana 1 to discover a legendary minion. Shuffle the other 2 into your deck. This card is a little worse because it is... Well, first of all, you can't play on turn 1. Second of all, you don't really care about discovering legendaries necessarily, but you have to include in the deck. It's going to be very important. 5 star card. You know, I was originally going to rate this 4 stars because I'm like, you might not play this and you could just run other shuffle cards, but I kind of just looked at them and I honestly thought Gearbox is still in standard. I have not played Hearthstone much this year. And a Gearbox in standard is going to make this deck really good. Losing Gearbox hurts, but it still will be 5 star. I'm not going to back up. There's some neutral cards that shuffle. There's these cards. Because the only problem is, can you complete the quest? And currently you have, out of new cards, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's it. But there are some neutral ones that shuffle in the rocks. And rocks are great because you just draw and deal damage and then you draw again. And there's another rogue card that you might play. But you don't want to shuffle too much junk into your deck. That's the only problem. But you will start drawing 2 cards a turn with the quest reward, so maybe you don't care. That's why it's 5 stars. But yeah, 5 star card will be important. You'll run this on all the decks because I don't think there's enough shuffling where you can't afford not to run it. But it's still just a 1 mana shuffle, so it's nice. 1 mana quest. Play 7 minions of unique types. Rewards Ashelon. Ashelon, Ridge Guardian, Battlecry. Adapt twice for the rest of the game. Give minions you play those adaptions. It's really going to be dependent on what adaptions you get. So... I think this will still be good, but it won't be like, it's not on par with, the thing is, I really like some of the shaman cards in this, but I really liked this quest when I saw it, but now some of the other quests I think are better. I think I'm going to say this one is 3 stars. It's a nice quest. It'll give you a good reward, but if you get bad adaptions, you're crying. But you adapt twice, so you're going to get at least 1 good one. Like, you really want, Divine Shield would be great. Maybe Wind Fury, depends. Elusive's great. Death Rattle is not terrible. +1/+1's alright. Stealth's good. They get Stealth Wind Fury, that would be pretty good. +3 health, who knows. But yeah, anyway. Play 7 minions of unique types. 3 mana, this is not a type. Your elementals deal 1 extra damage. Well, there is some combo-wombo stuff with this. It's a 3 mana 1/5 though. So you kind of got to play it as a 3 mana 1/5, and then it's not like Battlecry, so you have to have this on board. So maybe, ultimately, I don't think this is going to be that good. I think there's going to be a weird elemental shaman deck that'll see niche play, but this card is really built for the elementals. 2 stars, I don't think it'll be good. I don't think it'll be good. Niche deck. Very niche deck. It's going to be an elemental type deck that they're going to try and utilize this. 5 mana, 3/4 elemental dragon, Battlecry, summon 2 2/1 Symphony Cinders, and these are the things that you're trying to combo with. Deal 2 damage, split randomly among all enemies. Kindred, trigger your Symphony Cinders, death rattles. You know what? I don't see how we're ever going to use this card. I'm changing my mind. 1 star. Trash. You're not playing this card. I went back and changed one. You had to play this for 3 mana, and then these things are death rattle. 1 mana. You're going to play this card, though, because it's Elemental Dragon. That counts as 2 triggers, right? Yeah, it would. Kindred, trigger. I mean, you can summon 2 of these and then trigger it. Pretty good, honestly. Deal 2 damage when spin among all enemies. 3 stars will be included in the deck. And it'll be a good card in the deck. 2 triggers, nice decent card. You need Elemental Dragon the previous turn. You need the Kindred. Deal 2 damage to the lowest health enemy 3 times over 1. 3 mana. So you can deal 2, 4, 6 or something. Or just clear mini minions. I think Shaman are better ways to clear the board, right? And if you're playing like the quest, you're playing more minion stuff anyway. And it's Overload 1, which is kind of bad. 2 stars. It's going to be seen each play because you might need some board clear in some Shaman decks. But you don't really need this card. There's probably other stuff to do. 6 mana, deal 3 damage, summon that many 2/1 Sizzling Cinders. Fire spell. So this is like helps with this, but I think this is bad. This is not a unique type because it's a spell. You have to play the minions. You want to buff this to deal more damage, and then you can summon more Sizzling Cinders, which Sizzling Cinders are definitely annoying and good. But if you can't, you basically, if you can do it with the next card. 5 man, deal 5, summon 5. That's pretty good. I'm going to say 3 stars. I think you might have like this kind of fire spell package, a little bit of it in with the deck. 3 mana, 2/3 elemental beasts. This one, the other one was an elemental dragon. This one's an elemental beast, so it'll count for beast as well. Draw a fire spell, Kindred, give it spell damage +2. If you're playing elemental or beast before, you won't be, this unique deck is going to have a lot of elementals. But you're definitely going to want to hopefully draw this, maybe a few other fire spells that you could draw. So it's like a fire spell adaptation unique type deck. I didn't give this 3 stars. 3 stars, it'll be in the deck. 1 mana, discover a minion with a type you haven't played. If you play it this turn, also pick one of the others. 3 stars, very important for the deck because you can play one you haven't played. So you can maybe help complete the quest. Be very important because you do have to, it is 7 unique types. So you have to include pretty much every type. So this will help so you don't have to necessarily put bad cards into your deck and you can just discover those bad cards and play them instead. 4 mana, 2/5 elemental mech. Whenever you play a fire spell, gain stacks equal to its cost. 3 stars. It's a mech. So you need a mech. You need something. It's an elemental. Lucky they're all elementals as well. Yeah, you'll chuck it in the deck. 3 mana, draw 2 minions of different minion types given +2/+2. 3 stars. There's probably one fire spell you would like not to draw off this, but it's still drawing into drawing. It's fine. You can draw minions of different types. You can draw 2 minions of different types and you buff them. 3 mana, draw 2. Great. Helps towards the quest as well because you can get those minions sooner. Cinderfin. 2 mana, 1/2 elemental Murloc. We got a cheap elemental. That's what we needed. Death Rattle. Summon a 2/1 Sizzling Cinder. 3 stars. It's a Murloc. It helps towards the quest. It's a cheaper one. Can help do your other elemental Kindreds as well. Nice card. Overall, I think Shaman got some decent stuff. I think it'll be a decent deck. I just think it's going to be a bit weak compared to all the other quest stuff that you're doing. Maybe a bit slow at times. But it will still be an okay deck. But nothing crazy. Warlock. Warlock is one I'm really not sure about. Because here's the quest. 1 mana, play 6 temporary cards, reward Underfell Rifts, which is open a rift to the Underfell. Throw a card in to summon 2 random Fell Beasts once per turn. Select the rift to activate, throw a card in to summon 2 random Fell Beasts. The Fell Beasts are 5/3 Rush Lifesteal, 4/4 Charge Elusive. I don't think it costs mana, so they're all 5 mana. 3/5 Taunt Reborn. These are great. To get 2 of these a turn is really, really good. It is very slow. I guess, actually, you know what? I kind of like this quest. I think it's kind of on par with like the 3, like I'm going to say 3 stars. It's a nice quest. It's not broken. It's not very good. It's just decent. You're going to build a deck around this, but you're probably going to fall behind a lot of the other quests because it's a bit slower as well. But it's not unplayable, I'd say. Because once you do it, you play this for 5 mana, you trigger it, you play cheap, you get rid of a cheap thing, you summon 2 Fell Beasts, and you do that every turn. You're putting lots of threats out. Maybe like a Kill Jaden deck, this can help. But you're probably going to be eventually playing bigger stuff. But I think it's a nice deck. Kind of on par like with all the other 3-star quests that I've given. I think a lot of the quests, none of the quests are necessarily unplayable. Death Knight one is, but we'll get to the Warrior one in a sec. But I think the Warrior one's alright. Anyway, for this, 3 stars. From our 7/7, discard a random card from your hand, Kindred your opponent's hand instead. Yeah, Demon Beast. You're going to see this. I mean, it's a 4 mana 7/7. Your opponent discards a card. You know how annoying this card's going to be to go against? It's unlikely. Even if you discard a card from your hand, it's not the end of the world. I think this is going to... Warlock, I don't think have a lot going for them at the moment. So it's not like this card is going to do anything crazy. You probably just chuck it in your Rift deck as like a big threat. that your opponent has to deal with, and hopefully it helps you play all the other stuff. So I'm gonna say 3 stars. It's a nice Warlock card. It doesn't really like, you need to play a demon. Like, unlikely to play a beast. You probably have a demon in the deck, maybe some cheap demons. If it doesn't get included in the quest deck, then it's just a decent Warlock card that you'll see here and there. There are some other Warlocks things that they do. Is there a spell the location that summons? Actually, don't think so. 5 mana, 0/8 Whispering Stone. Taunt Death will get 2 random fell spells that cost health instead of mana. Use is so bad. I mean, it has Taunt, so your opponent has to kill it. But do you really care about 2 random fell spells? And they cost, I mean, they're going to be free. But I don't think you're playing this. I think it's so bad. 1 star. Useless. 0 mana fell. Discover a minion from your deck. Make it temporary. 5-star card. This card is going to see play in every Warlock deck until it rotates. Even if, like, normally when I'm doing these expansion reviews, it's like, well, like, even if Warlock doesn't have a tier 1 deck, I have to give this 5 stars just because it's going to see play in every single Warlock deck forever. And it's going to be a very good card in every single Warlock deck forever. You just spend 0 mana, you discover your card, and you play that card. You just play, you're 0 mana drawing a card. You have to play that turn, but it's unlikely you can't. You're probably playing this late in the game anyway. And it also helps with the quest. You know, it's going to be very crucial in the quest deck. You might play it early in the quest one, but yeah, it's just insane. Insanely good card. 7 mana, Story of Lakari. At the end of your turn, discard a card and fill your board with 3 imps last 3 turns. Yeah, give me a bunch of 3/2 imps. We know how this goes. 1 star. You don't give out 3/2 imps. So, and you're discarding 3 cards from your hand. 1 star. Why are you playing it? You're never playing this. 7 mana as well. You're never playing this. So bad. Useless. It's 7 mana do nothing as well because you're 3 imps. They don't have taunt or anything. Even if they did, that'd still be horrendous. Death Drop more. 6 mana 2/8 taunt. Death Rattle summon a random Fell Beast. I mean, the Fell Beasts are nice, but you're setting, 6 mana for 8 health taunt isn't terrible. And then you summon one of these. But if your opponent like hexes or polymorphs, you're crying. I think maybe it gets chucked in the deck, but probably not. I'm actually going to give this one 2 stars. I'm going to say this is more on the niche side. It most likely won't find its way into your Rift deck because you don't really care about it, though. Because it's not a temporary card. It's just a card that summons a Fell Beast. So it's probably honestly, it's too slow for the Rift deck. You're not going to be seeing playing that. It's probably too slow overall. So you're probably never playing this, honestly. I'm changing my mind. 1 star. I don't think you're ever going to see this. It's not even, if it was like a demon, maybe you could summon and stuff, but no. 1 star, I've changed my mind. Useless. Bloodbird Biome. Discover a temporary 1-cost minion. Very important for the quest deck. 3 stars. You're going to need this. You get 1 mana location and you get 2 1-cost temporary. That's very cheap. That's very good for the quest deck. I like it a lot. Could honestly see play outside the quest deck. Wouldn't surprise me. 4 mana, destroy an enemy minion. Kindred, deal 2 damage to all minions. 4 mana, destroy a minion. It's okay. Then you deal 2 to everything. You probably have way better board clears. And you're probably doing other things anyway. Unless you're versing the turbo aggro deck, which there might be a few in this meta. But then you also have to Kindred, play a foul spell beforehand. Which is also not easy for Warlock. I'm going to say 2 mana. If the meta gets out of control aggro, 2 mana. 2 stars. If the meta gets out of control aggro, maybe Warlock will have to force this into their deck if they really need more board clears. But ultimately, you probably won't see this often. So niche play. 3 mana 4/3 Death will get 2 random temporary 2-cost minions. Beast. Pretty easy to play whatever temporary things you get. It's a 3 mana 4/3 Beast. Also helps with that other card. 3 stars. You need ways to get temporary cards. So you're going to be including this in those decks. It's an okay card overall, but 2 temporary, at least all the temporary stuff is pretty cheap. 2 mana 2/8, Battlecry, your next temporary card costs 2 less. So you can play this and then play a temporary card on the same turn. Just helps you get a bit of tempo. See, these cards tend to be good. And you can bank this for the turn. It's not like your next temporary card this turn costs 2 less. So 3 stars. If it was your next temporary card this turn, it'd probably be, you probably wouldn't include it. But because you could bank this, play it, and the next turn get a temporary, then play it. Yeah. 3-star card. All right, Warrior Quest. Probably my favorite quest, maybe just behind the Hunter one. Maybe I think Hunter might be my favorite. I really like this quest. 1 mana, enter the Lost City. Quest, survive 10 turns. Easy peasy, right? Reward, Latorvius Gaze of the City. 5 mana 8/8, Battlecry. Get 2 random Journey to Ungoro quest rewards. Shuffle the rest into your deck. So if you play back in Journey to Ungoro, these were all the quest rewards. Could go, there's a 5 mana 8/8, reduced cost, reduced deck 0. Rush Battlecry, shuffle 20 Raptors in your deck. You really do not want this one. Take an extra turn. Fantastic. Adapt 5 times. It was pretty bad back in Ungoro, so it'll probably be still bad now. But it's not like you have to... Like, doing the quest for this also was bad. Like, leading up to it. And then it was a bad reward. If you just top deck this randomly throughout the game, it could be alright, honestly. 5 mana Amara, Taunt, Battlecry, set your health hero to 40. Fantastic quest reward for this quest. Crystal Core is going to do... You really don't know on this. Megafin, 300 around Murloc. Nether Portal, open a permanent portal that summons 3/2 imps. You're probably not playing this unless you just have 5 mana to spend randomly. Sulfuras, Battlecry, your hero power becomes do 8 damage to your enemy. Good. So you have 3 good ones, I'd say. I think Time Warp's good, Amara is good, Sulfuras is good. Sulfuras could be a bit slow, but I don't think Galvadon's going to say that bad. Megafin's pretty bad. I mean, Megafin could be okay, but it's pretty bad. Nether Portal's probably too slow. Barnabas can definitely be too slow. Queen Canassa is just bad. So Crystal Core and Queen Canassa, you really, really do not want to get in your hands. I mean, to be fair, you could summon 5/5 imps with Crystal Core eventually. You just got to survive. I really like this quest, but is it good? Oh man, I'm giving so many quests 3 stars. I've only given one quest 1 star. There's no way. I mean, the problem is surviving. And Warlock's good. I mean, Warrior is good at surviving. Honestly, this expansion, they didn't get any crazy survivable cards. I don't think Warrior is good at surviving, but I don't think it's this good at surviving. I'm going to say, I don't think it's as unplayable as the Death Knight quest. And I don't think it's on the tier of all the 3 ones. So this is going to get my 2-star quest. Hey, we need a 2-star quest, right? It will see niche play because people are going to love this quest. I'm going to play this quest. People will survive and do some crazy things. Like Time Warp will win the game for this quest. Will win you the game on occasion. I mean, here's the thing. If you do this, do you get this at the start of the turn? Honestly, don't know. You could play that into Time Warp, but then you do it. It's probably not worth it. You got to play it as well. But 5 and 8 do nothing to get to request rewards where you most likely won't be able to play them unless you play it on turn 10 or maybe Sulfuras. But yeah, 2 stars, niche play. Will be fun, but we'll see. Nebula the Watcher. Battlecry, summon copies of your damaged minions. Give the copies rush. 6 mana, 5/7. You got to have minions on board. They got to be damaged. I don't like this card at all. It's pretty useless, I think. 1 star. Sorry, Warrior. You got some low star legendaries. I just don't see you ever really doing this. Maybe someone copies of big minions, but yeah. Opponent clears the board, then it's like, oh well. 4 mana Sea Defenses. Summon 2/2 security with Taunt. They gain +1 attack when damaged. It's so bad, right? I mean, 2/6 is good. It helps you survive. So, niche play, 2 stars. You're probably including this in the quest deck just because you want to survive. It's a good defensive. It's a good super defensive card if that's what you're trying to do. So 4 mana 0/6. 2 stars. And then your turn, give a random friendly damage minion +2/+2. 1 star. I don't see this whole damage minion thing coming back for Warrior. There's only reason it's good to go in the past because of like combo stuff to help buff up your hands and then deal damage to your opponent. I just don't see it. These could be damaged. I mean, this is kind of on par with it when damaged, but I don't care. These are just 4/6 taunts. 5 mana Stories of Heroes. Swap your hero power to deal 8 damage to a random enemy. After 2 years, swap it back. No. 1 star. You're spending 7 mana to deal 8 damage, and then you get to do it cheap on the next turn. 16 damage could be nice, but even if in an aggro deck, it's kind of very slow. 1 mana. 1 star. Shellnado. 4 mana, spend up to 5 armor. For each spend, deal 1 damage to all minions. This is a much better Warrior card than everything else I've seen. I'm going to say 3 stars. Sadly, I don't think Warrior is going to be very good. It's a nice board clear. You can deal 4 mana, deal 5 to all minions. But you have to have 5 armor. And then you lose that armor as well. And obviously you don't have to have 5. You can deal 4, deal 3. So it's a nice board clear. I'm going to say 3 stars because it's one of the better Warrior cards. And we'll see playing multitude of Warrior decks. But won't... You'll probably see... We'll see playing the survivability one as well. The quest one. And then we'll see as well what else it does. 3 mana, 3/3 Battlecry. Deal 2 damage to an enemy. If it dies, gain 5 armor. I mean, 5 armor can help with the next spell. And you're probably going to be able to kill a lot of things with this. I'm going to say 3 stars. This is a nice Warrior card that will also be chucked into a lot of Warrior decks. 3 mana, 3/3. Deal 2 damage to a minion and gain 5 armor. It's pretty good early game. You love getting the armor. It can help clear board with this. You can kill a minion. You get a 3/3. Helps against aggro. And I'll see play in the quest deck as well. 8 mana, 6/6. Valkyrie. Deal 5 damage and gain 5 armor. Kindred costs 3 less dragon. So you got to play dragon. Then you have 5 mana, 6/6. Deal 5, gain 5 armor. That's pretty good. Dragon Warrior is kind of a deck. And like these control cards here might help with it. So I don't necessarily think Dragon Warrior is unplayable. I mean, it is pretty unplayable, right? It's not very good. But you kind of have, like, Warrior at the moment kind of have Taunt Warrior, which these could be good because you're not losing stuff. You know, that's actually what the Legendary could be used for. It could be chucking that Taunt Warrior deck and then you summon 2 of that massive Taunt. I still think it's not good, though. But I think this is going to... I'm just going to say 2 stars. I don't know if you put in the quest deck, but I think it's going to see niche play. Because it's just... If 5 mana, 6/6, deal 5, gain 5 armor is very good. It's just Dragon Warrior isn't really a thing that's good, right? I don't think. And even... And Dragon Warrior, like, it isn't a great deck, obviously. I don't think it's really much of a deck. And it's only going to get worse with better stuff coming. And it's not really getting much support. So I'm just going to say 2 star. Probably be included in like a Dragon Warrior deck, but I don't think Dragon Warrior deck's going to be crazy. Even then, who knows? It could just not be included in that because you want to summon the Legendary, right? Anyway. Axe of the Forefathers. After hero attacks, deal 1 damage to all minions. 3 mana, 2/2. I mean, this helps with those self-damage things, but I don't think you care about this. 3 mana, 2/2, and it helps clear the board. Honestly, not a bad warrior card, I don't think. You're just dealing... It's only 2 durability, 2 damage. It's a bit slow. Actually, it is pretty slow. But dealing 1 to everything could be a good way to help clear the board, especially against aggro stuff. I'm going to say 3 stars. You probably put this in a lot of warrior decks. I'm trying to... Do you? Yeah, I don't see why not. It's all about dealing with the early aggro stuff, so you probably will. 3 mana, gain 3 armor, deal damage equal to your armor to an enemy minion. 3 stars as well. A nice warrior support card. It's a good armor card. You gain 3 armor. It's 3 mana, gain 3, deal 3. If you have 0 armor, if you have more armor, you can deal damage to bigger minions. Can be good. This can also help gain more armor to help kill something bigger, potentially. Yeah. All right. Well, we're through all the class cards. I've been going for ages, so I'm gonna race through these neutrals. Legendaries will go through, but then the rest of the neutrals will race through. Let's do it. Krog Crater King. 9 mana, 8/7 beast. At the end of your turn, set the attack and half of all enemy minions to 1. I don't really think you're gonna care about this. 9 mana, 8/7 it doesn't do nothing. It's at the end of your turn. You could get this off the Hunter reward, which would be actually really good, but that's not playing it. I wouldn't be surprised if you see some decks run this just because it can deal with a really annoying board. 2 stars. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw this in the meta, especially in Druid, maybe because it makes it cost a 5. And then Druid don't have a ton of board clears, and this can make your opponent's minions worse. So yeah. Umbra, battle card, death roll 5 friendly minions that died this game. We've already seen this. It's a decent card. He plays in Demon Hunter, right? I've tried that deck, I think. You'll probably see playing in a Death Knight, in the Death Rattled Death Knight deck. 3 stars. I haven't played this could be better than 3 stars already. I might not be paying attention, but I think 3 stars is fair. It's a solid card in those Death Rattle decks. Can win you the game. Can be pretty good, but I don't think it's game breaking. To be fair, actually, it does trigger the death rattle of the priest quest as well. You know, this is a lot of uses when you think about it. Isn't really that bad at the moment, and it's probably going to get better with more death rattle synergy. What class again? Death rattle, Death Knight, Demon Hunter already has it. Priest kind of. I don't think there's enough. I'm gonna stay with 3 stars, unless it's already better right now, and I'm completely wrong. City Chief Esho. 6 mana, 5/7 battle cry. If every minion in your deck shares a minion type, give the other minion +2/+2 wherever they are. What are you running this in? The Shaman deck? That's very slow. Hunter? No, but every minion is not going to have a type. 1 star. You're never playing this. Literally the only deck this might see playing is that Shaman one. Because it's a little slower. But even then this doesn't have a type. 1 star. 4 mana, 4/5, at least the Navigator. If your deck started with 10 cards of different cost, craft a custom location. This card seems like a lot of fun. There's so much with the custom locations. 10/5/1. You can do so much with this. It could be played in so many decks. The only problem is you need 10 cards of different cost. You need a 1, 2, well, essentially 1 to 10, or you cut out 1 and put a 0 in. which I don't think is that hard. There's a few decks that'll easily be able to do it. Some that will struggle. So it probably won't be meta breaking because the requirement isn't easy to do. But I'm going to say 4 stars. Because no matter what, if you can do this, it's going to be good. There's no reason this won't be good. Absolutely no reason this won't be good. Torga, 4 mana, 2/700 beast, battlecry, draw a Kindred card and another card that activates it. Very slow. It is an undead and a beast. Could help in that shaman deck. If your deck has enough Kindred stuff, you might play this, but it's a 4 mana 2/7. It is draw 2. 4 mana 2/7, draw 2 isn't the worst. If you really need help with your draw, you're going to play this. If you have enough Kindred stuff in your deck, you're going to play this. But no quests require Kindred. Just Kindred are nice. I'm going to say 2 stars. It's going to be niche. You might get this in the Hunter quests, which actually not terrible. You'll probably see it here and there. People will play it if they have enough Kindred stuff, if they really need draw, but ultimately might not be good enough. All right, onto the epic. 7 mana, 3/3 beast, battlecry, destroy minion, Kindred, gain its stats. 1 star, you're not playing this. You don't care about this. It's super slow. 7 mana, 7/7, destroy minion, which is good, and you can gain its stats if you play a beast beforehand. It's 3 mana, 3 attack for the hunter, but it's way too slow for that deck anyway. Stormbrewer, whenever this attacks, deal 3 damage to the target first. Kindred, gain rush. I said, no, this won't see play in any elemental deck. 1 star, way too slow. I mean, it has a Kindred and can gain rush. You attack something, you deal 3 to it, then it hits it. It's not the worst thing in the world, but I think you'd rather do a lot of other things. 2 mana, 2/2 tradable battlecry, game empty mana crystals until both players have the same mana. Druid counter, but you're probably never really, unless Druid becomes super meta, and even then they don't have a ton of mana gain anymore. 1 star. It is tradable, which is nice, but then you're just playing a tradable card in your deck the whole game. 2 mana, 1/2. At the end of your turn, give positive to each friendly minion of a different type. Of a different type, the only deck that's really running different types is Shaman, and I think you'd rather be going to complete the quest and playing the other types. And +1/+1 isn't a ton, and it's end of turn. 1 star. Come on, neutral cards, what are you doing? 2 mana, 2/1 base battlecry. Choose to gain +3 attack, divine shield, or death rattle, summon 2/1 plants. You're probably doing better things. Doesn't go in the hunter quests. 2 mana, 5/1 divine shield is kind of annoying. No, I think you're doing better things. 1 star. Actually, you know what? I'm actually going to say this is 2 stars. I think there's potential this could go in like the Druid deck, or just because it's a beast could go in the Shaman one, because I don't think the Shaman has a beast, right? And as a 2 mana 5/1 divine shield's annoying, or 2 mana 2/1 just summon plants could be okay. I think it's going to be 2 stars. I wouldn't be surprised. I'm going to say niche play. You might see it as like a last inclusion for like a Shaman deck, a Druid deck, potentially. I wouldn't be surprised. 4 mana 4/4 beast battlecry. Choose to gain stealth until your next turn, elusive or wind fury. You don't really care about any of those. It's just a 4 mana 4/4. 1 star. 4 mana 4/3 cloud serpent battlecry. Get a copy of another elemental or dragon in your hand. Unless there's some crazy combo things you want to do. Very slow. You don't really need copies of whatever those are. And it's also RNG based unless you have a specific deck. 1 star. Dissolving News. 3 mana 3/3 battlecry. Destroy a friendly minion. Spit out the bones of its attack and health into your hand. I saw something with this card with like a crazy combo. I can't remember what it was based around. Where you like destroy something and then you give like stats to like a charge and then you just destroy your opponent. I don't know though. And just because I saw that, I'm going to say 2 stars. I don't know what it was. I mean, it's actually not terrible because you destroy a minion. I mean, destroying a friendly minion sucks though. And then you get it doesn't have the thing. Yeah, 1 mana buff something. 2 stars. I'm doing it. You'll see a niche combo deck with this and it'll probably be very bad, but you might get killed by it once or twice. 3 mana battlecry. Your next Kindred triggers twice. 3 mana 3/2 Primal Fin Challenger. Murloc. This will probably, I think this is going to be in the Murloc Shaman deck because you need, Murloc Paladin deck because you need Murlocs. It's probably not as good as some of the other Murloc cards. The only Kindred card with that deck was 3 mana, right? You might run other Kindred stuff as well. So I'm going to say 3 stars. Because I think I rated that 4, and then I rated some of the Murlocs 4. But this one's not as good of a Murloc. It's pretty slow as well. So this one's probably a 3-star Murloc for that deck. Stranglefiend. 3 mana 3/2 death rattle. Give a random friendly minion a random bonus effect and this death rattle. It can spiral out of control, but 3 mana 3/2 is extremely slow. 1 star. Ultra Gigasaur. 11 mana 14/28 beast. What a card. This There's potential for this card to include in that Druid deck just because you can make this cost 5. 5 mana, 14/28. Pretty big. Opponent probably could just kill it though with a removal spell. It doesn't really do anything. This card still do nothing. Ultra Gigasaur, I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt and give you 2 stars. Let's go. We don't want to give you 1 star. Come on, you got to see some play, right? You're going to see niche play. In that Druid deck, let's go. 9 mana, 8/8 Elemental Dragon, Rush, Wind Fury, Kindred, gain immune this turn. I mean, Rush, Wind Fury, gain immune means you're going to kill 2 minions. And your opponent has to find a way to deal with this. Otherwise, they're just going to do 16 damage to your face. I'm going to say... See, this has a very Elemental Dragon, though. I was going to say this has potential to be in like the big Druid deck. But then you have to also run an Elemental or... there's not enough Elementals, right? Maybe Dragons. Big Dragons, like Fire-Rack. It's kind of bad. Maybe if you feel like you need a bigger game threat, you include that in the Druid deck. 2 stars. I did rate that Druid card 5 stars. I'm giving all these like support cards 2 and 1. But I think most of the support cards for that deck are already in standard. And there's just wait, they're going to figure out how to break the game. This will be 2 stars though. And you might chuck it in there and it could be like a nice board clear. I just don't know if you have enough Elementals or Dragons. 8 mana, 1/12 Elemental Taunt, lasts us +6 attack during your opponent's turn. 1 star. It's a very big, beefy boy, but you never have to. You don't have to really worry about this as an opponent until you can just clear it because it's only a 1/12 anyway. So yeah, you got to play it as well. 6 mana, 3/6 Battlecry, destroy the lowest attack enemy minion. Kindred, the highest attack instead. Could be alright to clear things, but you really got to play it in like a beast type deck. I don't think Hunter wants to play this. I don't think Shaman has enough stuff. Yeah, 1 star. You're not playing this. Blob of Tar. 4 mana, 2/4 Poisonous Taunt. Death Roll, summon a 1/2 blob with Poisonous and a 1 blue Blob of Taunt. I don't mind this card. I think you might like chuck it in potentially like an Elemental Mage. You could chuck it in like the Quest Warrior. Those are both bad decks, I've said. Maybe in like an Elemental, another Shaman card. So I'm going to say 2 stars, because those most of the decks I think that's gonna be in it were already niche decks, so you're chucking this in as well. So it's an annoying card, but I think it's fine. 2 stars, you'll see it. You'll see it in like some weird slow control decks, but maybe Elemental Synergy, but it won't be like important in those decks. 4 mana, 5/4 Crater Gator. Battlecry, until the start of your next turn, the enemy hero can't be healed. Could work in that Priest. I briefly mentioned that Priest combo deck. I think though you don't care about, if you can summon 2 of those 7/7s in that Priest combo deck, I don't think you care about healing your opponent at all anyway. Maybe you run 1 copy of this in that deck, but then that you're making that deck even slower and you got to hold on to too many cards. So probably not. 1 star. I'm not even going to give this, I could give this one 2 and say niche play because it could potentially see that. I don't think it will. 1 star. Sorry, Crater Gator. Then you're bad in everything else. Well, yeah, no, I don't see it. 4 mana, 5/3 Stealth Beast. After it attacks and kills a minion, get a copy of it. 1 star. Why you're not playing a 4 mana, 5/3 Stealth. Obviously, you could get a copy of your opponent's minions, but I mean, it can help you get their quest rewards, but probably not. 4 mana, 3/2 Kindred. Summon 2 1/1 Murlocs with Rush. This will be way more important in the Murloc deck. You summon 2 Murlocs, and this counts as 1 itself. 4 stars. Unlike the other neutral one, I mean, the other neutral Murloc into this one will be very, very good for the quest, actually. But I wouldn't be surprised if you cut the other one for other stuff. Maybe not. But this one, 4 stars. You have other Murlocs you can play before this. You summon 2 1/1 Murlocs. You help towards your quest. You really need this in your deck. Wolf of Watcher. 4 mana, 4/7 Taunt. Death Roll, destroy the top 3 cards of your deck. 1 star. You don't want to do this. A 4 mana, 4/7 Taunt is nothing crazy anyway. I mean, it's a 4/7 Taunt, but then you could really destroy important cards. And then currently, with all these quests, there's probably too many important cards in most decks, so I don't think you want to destroy your cards. 3 mana, 1/5 Beast. Battlecry, choose to gain Taunt, Poisonous, or +1/+1. 3 mana, 1/5 Taunt. No. 3 mana, 1/5 Poisonous. 3 mana, 2/6. 1 star. You don't want to do any of these. 3 mana, 3/3 Beast. After you cast a spell, gain Divine Shield. You're going to have to play this, then play a spell to get the Divine Shield. You can do it infinitely. There's also just a 3 mana, 3/3. 1 star. Insane play. 3 mana, 5/5 Start Dormant. While dormant, gain +2/+2 at the start of your turn. 50% chance to awaken. It's 1 star. I mean, it's at the start of your turn, not the end. Which means if it wakes up at the start of your turn, you're not going to be able to attack anyway. And it just can gain stats slowly. You could never wake up. If it was at the end, you could maybe then you could attack the next turn. But 1 star. No thanks. Pidork's Egg. 3 mana, 0/3. Death Rattle summon a 3/3 Pidorx that steals 1 health from all other minions. You're probably doing better things than playing the 3 mana. The 3 mana eggs are expensive. There's the one for Druid, but that really helps with the quest. This one does not. 1 star. You're not. I don't think there's time to do this. 3 mana, 3/3 battle cry. Destroy the top card of your deck. Discover a card of the same rarity. Well, you're putting cards in your deck for a reason, so you probably don't want to destroy that card just to discover a card. 1 star. You don't want, you're putting cards in your deck for a reason. You don't want to be destroying them for worse cards. Undercover Cultist. 3 mana, 2/3 Taunt Reborn. Has +3 attack while damaged. 2 minions you got to destroy, but it's 3 mana. Taunt, but 1 star. Yeah, there's no point. So slow. 2 mana, 3/5 Death Row. Reduce the cost of a minion in your opponent's hand by 2. I feel like this could see play in some sort of aggro deck. Because, I'm going to say 2 stars niche. 2 mana, 3/5 is pretty good stats. The thing is, you probably don't, like, if you reduced a big, like, random minion in your opponent's hand, you might not care too much if you're an aggro deck. You don't want to help your opponents, but it doesn't have any synergy with anything else. That's why I'm saying 2. I wouldn't be surprised if there's an aggro deck that pops up and you chuck this in because there's a 2 mana 3/5, and a 2 mana 3/5 isn't the end of the world. Rock Skipper, 2 mana 1/3 Murloc Battlecry. Get a 1 cost rock that deals 3 damage. Who doesn't love the 1 mana deal 3 rock? 3 stars. It's a Murloc. It could go into the Murloc Paladin deck. 1 cost rock that deals 3. It's not the worst. So, why not? I wouldn't be surprised you see there's a bunch of decks. Question assistant. 2 mana 2 Battlecry. If you played a quest this game, deal 2 damage. So you can deal 2 damage to something. I have to do it. I have to say 3 stars. This could find its way into a bunch of quest decks. Probably the Demon Hunter one. Maybe. But most of them, there's definitely a bunch of them that won't run this. There's a few that will. So it's kind of in the middle ground. That's why I'm just going to say 3 stars. I don't even know if you would run this the Demon Hunter one, even though it does deal 2, so that's good. But it doesn't have 2 damage. It does 3 attack. Butterstop. 1/1, 1 mana, 1/2 Battlecry. Draw a card, Death Rattle, discard it. Yeah. You probably play this in the Hunter quest because you want to. Play a 1 attack, and this is a 1 attack. You draw a card with it. Got to play that card or you'll discard it. If you discard it, sometimes it probably doesn't matter too much. Hunter Quest, I think it's a 1 mana draw a card. You could just play, like, it's good. This is better late game than early game because if it dies, you'll discard the card, which is really bad. I don't think I think you need a 1 attack for Hunter Quest. So I think you're going to be playing this in the Hunter Quest deck. So I'm going to say 4 stars. It's not crucial. It's only 5 stars. It's not like you have to play it, but I think it'll be good. And it could see play in some other stuff. Maybe if like the Shaman deck is the Beast. Who knows? Last card, Sizzling Cinder, because this is an actual card you can play. 1 mana 2/1 Death Rattle, deal 2 damage, split around all enemies. You have ways in Shaman to summon a bunch of these. I don't think you're ever going to actually put one of these in your deck on its own. I don't think Shaman's going to even do that. 1 star. All right. And that is the Lost City of Ungoro, right? Yep, I already forgot. Expansion. Quests. Who doesn't love quests? I love quests. They look like a lot of fun. I honestly, I think almost all the quests look like a lot of fun. This looks like a lot of fun. Will it be bad? Probably. This looks like fun. Shaman one is cool. The Rogue one's really cool. The Priest one, it's pretty cool. The Paladin one, I mean, this just buffs your board, but it's like a repeatable quest, which is cool. The Mage one, you can discover and just do a lot of things. I like a lot of the quests in this. The most boring quest, honestly, it's probably the Death Knight cards, which is also the worst quest. Death Knight, no, your first quest. I think I did write 2 quests 5 stars. Demon Hunter, which is my ballsy take one. I have to do one of those, right? And Hunter. And I think Hunter will be the best one. And I'm really looking forward to playing this one. I think this will be the best quest. I think it's going to be really good. I think a lot of the quests are going to be really good. I also read a Rogue 5 stars as well. Yeah, Rogue one will be good too. But I think this one will be the best one in the game. Who knows? Maybe Hunter, last time people thought the quest was going to be absolutely broken and it was absolutely terrible. Maybe we're going to get a repeat. But anyway, that is the Lost City of Ungoro expansion. Every card revealed, every card reviewed. I think overall, it's going to be a fun expansion. Will it? And I think most of the quests are going to be playable. Most of them will be playable. And so at least a decent deck. And there's a few really good ones. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for my review of the Lost City of Ungoro.